Chapter 17, page 145. As I've been getting used to Elvira over the last month, life at school has been almost pleasant. Almost. I can ask Connor about a TV show that came out, I keep saying out instead of on, that came on the night before, or tell Jessica that I like her new shoes. It's been snowing, just flurries, almost every day. Late one January afternoon, I typed, I hope we have a snow day. No school. Everybody agreed. For once, I got to speak for the class. I can answer questions in class lots better with Elvira to help me. For the first time, instead of pretend grades that teachers would give me because they weren't, page 146, quite sure if I knew the answers or not, I get real grades recorded in the teacher's grade books that are based on actual answers I've given, printed out and everything. But at recess, I still sit alone. It's been too cold to go outside, so we sit in the far corner of the overheated cafeteria until it's time to go back to class. None of the girls gossip with me about some silly thing a boy has said. Nobody promises to call me after school. Nobody asks me to come to a birthday party or a sleepover, not even Rose. Sure, she'll stop and chat for a minute or two, but as soon as Janice or Paula calls her to come and look at a picture on a cell phone, Rose will say, I'll be right back, then skip away as if she's glad she has a reason to cut out on me. So when I read that part, I realized that there are some details about the setting that are definitely affecting Melody and how she feels. See if you can look back and find some details about the setting that you notice and how they affect Melody. Okay, page 146, the middle of the page. I just smile, hope I wasn't drooling, and pretend I didn't notice. After a few minutes of faking it, I push the button for the sentence, go back to H5, and Catherine and I roll back down the hall. One afternoon near the end of January, Mr. Dimming announced in a voice that sounded like he'd been chewing on dry toast, instead of regular class today, I think we'll have a practice round for the Whiz Kids quiz team. Everybody cheered because otherwise we would, top of page 147, have had a lesson on the Sahara Desert. Talk about toasty and dry. Every year our school sends a team to the Whiz Kids competition. The local rounds, with teams from elementary schools all around the city and country, are held downtown at a hotel. Last year our school got to second place in the whole district. The principal was so proud she bought pizza for the entire school, even though the team was only for grades 4, 5, and 6. So there I'm noticing a memory moment. Did you notice that memory moment? The first place teams from across the state go to Washington, D.C. for the Nationals. It's televised and is a really big deal. Rose scooted her desk closer to mine. I was on the Whiz Kids team last year, she told me. I know, I typed. You're smart. She beamed, then leaned a little closer. Connor will probably get picked again, too. He's a little hard to handle, but he's great with trivia. I glanced over. Connor was boasting to his friends about last year's competition. You ought to see the room in the hotel where they hold the contest. Gold chandeliers, rich-looking stuff everywhere, and kids from all over looking smart. But we smoked them all. All but one team, dude, Rodney shouted out good-naturedly. They tore you up. The class hooted. Yeah, but this year we're going to win, right, Mr. D? We're certainly going to try, Connor, Mr. Dimming replied. The rules have changed slightly, so our team this year will be made of just grades 5 and 6. That gives us strength because some of you competed last year. Now, let's just see how good we are. Let's do a set of sample questions just for fun, shall we? You got prizes, Rodney asked. Not every competition results in a prize, Rodney, Mr. D replied. Yeah, but it's more fun with good stuff at the end, Connor added. Please? Okay. One slightly squished Butterfinger candy bar from my lunch bag, the teacher said, holding it up. Everyone laughed once more. Chocolate gives you zits, Rose teased Connor. I don't want candy. I want to win. She moved her desk back to her own row. Catherine sat on the other side of me. Do you want to play the practice round with them? She asked. Yes, I typed. Answers. A, B, C, D. Easy. She grinned. Okay, easy. Let's see what happens. Mr. Dimming cleared his throat and smiled. Whiz Kids time is my favorite event of the year, he admitted. Let's see if we can go all the way this year. The class cheered. Top page 149 if you've gotten lost. I will read the questions first, then the choices for the answers. You will write down the correct letter. Does everyone understand? Connor raised his hand, then called out even before Mr. Dimming noticed him. Don't give us easy ones, Mr. D. I've got brains of steel. And a mouth to match, I heard Rose whisper. Number 1, the teacher began. Which planet is closest to the sun? A, Venus. B, Earth. C, Mercury, D, Mars, E, Jupiter. Baby questions, Connor protested. Please, Connor, silence, Mr. D said sternly. Connor finally shut up. I pushed the letter C on my machine and waited for the next question. Number 2, Mr. Deming continued. How many sides are on a heptagon? A, 4, B, 6, C, 7, D, 8, E, 9. I typed in the letter C again. Would the same letter come out twice in a row? Why not? I knew I was right. Question number 3, Mr. D said. How long is one regular term for a U.S. representative? A, 1 year. B, 2 years. C, 3 years. D, 4 years. E, 6 years. That one could be tricky. It seems like the same politicians are on the news all the time, but I typed in B as my answer. Mr. D gave us 50 questions in all. Several were math problems, others had to do with science and grammar. The last question was about geography. It's passing period, so I'm going to pause it there and you'll read the rest of that chapter to yourself.